Opening day 2025. It was extremely windy, so pardon the voiceovers.
All right, here we go. It's pretty full, pretty full. No doubt. There you go. Penny farthing. Awesome. Look at that pulp sci-fi. All right, first magic cards of the day. Let's see what we got.
When I asked him how much for the box, he told me $20, so I was pretty happy to get a mystery box for $20.
Right, so this will be a nice surprise. I tell you, this type of stuff, yeah, especially something like a cassette CD player recorder. There you go, turtles new in box.
At this point, I was beginning to hustle because in 12 minutes, everyone else was going to be let in.
There you go, medieval weaponry. A lot of toys out today, but no, not many magic cards yet.
Aesthetically pleasing voltmeter.
Anybody need some screws? If you know, you know. There he is. And Hero Quest. Nice.
My quote was, "You gotta be some type of person to have these on your wall." Kind of crazy, huh?
Now that's a phone. Awesome. That's a cool looking radio. What do we got? Look what we got down here with the old gun. Look at this freaking... That is some board game, huh? I love the White Castle sign, man. That's so huge. Yeah, that's sick. And Red Lobster, look at that. The Springs. There's some packs of cards. That's interesting.
Sometimes the older stuff just catches your eye, including this old Astrolab. Here I just mumble about Robotech. This vendor has been absent for a while, so he doesn't get the spot or the room that he used to, but he still brings a nice amount of vintage and cool-looking older stuff. When I see his display, it always makes me think of the 70s and 80s. It's pretty great and aesthetically pleasing.
New games, so no magic. I stand corrected. Maybe there is magic. We got Wyvern. Gotta get these out. It looks like Wyvern and interesting. It's Wyvern. There it is. I opened this and I saw that.
Here you can see what I got from that vendor for $60. A pack of Judgment, a few cards, and a bunch of packs of other trading card games. Pretty cool.
I remember opening these cards.
The ubiquitous uranium glass.
This is analog media at the flea market. Oh yeah. And there's a couple of magazines that I'm not buying.
This is a Sony Trinitron TV, one of the best vacuum tube TVs out there and perfect for VHS.
Okay, here we go. Mystery box. This is a $10 mystery box. Yes. Oh. Lands. There's a lot of OG lands, which is cool. You know, Invasion, Urza Saga, that type of stuff. Let's start taking this apart and see what we got. Very cool. Wow, a lot of lands here, huh? Rift Bolt. Lands. I'm going to make a pile of lands. Ooh, we see some good sets in here, though. Like, if we get some decent cards from these sets, like, we could have some things, you know? Okay, what I'm going to do is separate out all the lands from everything else. Okay, yes. Disentomb, Swamp. Okay, we got a bunch of blue lorwyn cards, which, you know. Oh, see? Rares. Heroes Podium. Maybe I'll put aside the rares later. Okay. There are a lot of lands, and, you know, it's not in horrible condition considering that... Oh, Sheltered Valley. Considered that it's in here. You know, like in this box. Okay, let's just take all the cards versus all the lands. Okay, wow. There's a streak of Temple of Deceit when that was something. Golden Urn. All right. We got foils. Streak of non-lands. That's nice. Let's see. How are we going to take this out? Yeah. That's kind of... It's jammed in weird on the side. Oh. Oh. Look what we got here. We got... Derek Harper. All right. Ooh, Anger of the Gods foil. If I'm not mistaken, that's a decent card. I'd have to look it up. I don't know offhand, but hey. If we're getting foil rares, I am encouraged. Although the amount of lands is kind of shocking. Not shocking, but rough. Rough to see because, you know, that's just space taken up. But these are decks. These look like decks in here. We'll see. We'll see. We'll get there. We'll get there. Okay. Geez, so many lands, though. And not good lands, you know. I wouldn't be complaining if they were duels. Desecration. I mean, they are good basics. There are worse basics to get, you know. Just checking out a few of the cards. I think I saw a Mind Funeral. That's a decent card. Hedron Crab's a couple of bucks. Okay. And it's still going. Let's keep it going, guys. Let's see a lot more rares. I want to see something interesting. That would be nice. Nevermaker. Mimic Vat. Couple of Mimic Vats. Which is wonderful and all, but let's see something interesting. I want to see a shocker in here. That's like, wow. You know what I like to see? A box like this without empty sleeves. The empty sleeves tells me that someone went through it and picked through their decks and pulled out the good stuff, you know? When there are no empty sleeves, I start thinking, hey, maybe the good stuff is still in here. If there is any good stuff, right? Not everybody has great cards. Yeah. Oh, we got an Earthbind. Judith, the Scourge Diva. What's a pre-release foil? There you go. Okay. More sleeves. Effed up card. That is just garbage. And this one was near it. So, okay. This is starting to get Gutter Bones. Alright. Interesting. Okay. At least we're getting rares, guys. Not every flea market find has friggin' rares in it. Which, you know, rares are not necessarily that great. It's just a sign of what could be. Okay, and right now we could be not looking at anything too crazy, but for 20 bucks, you know, let me know in the comments. This is kind of like a no-brainer gamble, you know. Okay. Ooh, look at that, Shocky. We're going to put you aside. Hopefully, there's more of that. But it might just be one that, you know, dude got in a pack and put it in his deck and isn't willing to spend money on cards. And I get that. I get that. But, hey, that card already made this worth it. you know, combined with what else is here, of course. Of course. Oh, we already went through that. Let's get these out of the way. I'm going to find it difficult to, like, remove this from a sleeve. Instead, I'll probably just chuck it. You know, like, I don't have the patience to remove basics that don't matter from sleeves that I don't want. Same thing with some of the, you know, like this card I'm not going to use. Yeah, maybe I'll just throw it in a pile of bulk, and if somebody wants it eventually, you know, we'll talk. Oh, a mind slicer. That's friggin' old. Yeah, I guess it shows what we could have in here, right? Nightmare. Phyrexian Revoker. There you go. Not bad. The Revoker, man. All right, we are getting there. I remember when Oblivion Ring was a major card. Do you remember? A couple of dollars per, and it was like an uncommon when it was printed. So, hey, look at that Skinwing foil. The old Skinwing. Angel of Serenity. We got a mythic. Basics. Garbage. Those go with it. Sometimes there will be a little bit of damage holding stuff together. Did I already look through this? I think so. Yeah. Okay, we're getting down to it, guys. Okay. What am I doing? What am I doing here? I changed up how I was doing things for a second again. See? Garbage sticking them together. And down here too. What happened to all your M19? What did you do? Oh man, tell me they're all like that here. No? Okay. This is just this. Yeah. That sucks. Landlord L's is a couple of bucks, no? Or a buck or two, even from there. Okay, guys. We're getting down to it. I want to see another shock. That would be nice, but I don't think we will. It's alright. Oh, more trash. Yeah, would be. I guess you wouldn't be surprised how often that happens from the flea market, you know? Alright, Pithing Needle. And we got a couple of random cards in here. And that. Okay, empty. So, we're going to take these basics and put them in here and put all that aside. I'm going to separate out the OG ones from, the dime a dozen ones. And I always put those aside. I have a box for OG lands. Okay. Now let's pull out some rares. See what we got here. Uncommons, rares, commons, uncommons. Okay. Not bad. I mean, the fact that I'm seeing rares at all, they may not be the best rares, but I got a Sacred Foundry. I'll take it. And, there's a couple of rares. I mean, tell me, what do you think? Would you have bought this if you looked through a little bit and you saw the couple of cards that I saw, that I showed you? I'm like, hey, at the top there was a, couple of random rares. Nothing too crazy at all, rare-wise. But then you see older lands and maybe a foil. Would you have purchased this? Would you have looked through the whole thing before you purchased it? I don't know. I think a $20 gamble was worth it. You could have been anal about it and looked through the whole thing, but for $20, really, you're not doing that guy any like problems. He'll stand there and watch you while you look through it. The only pain you're causing is to yourself. So I don't know. When the price is cheap enough and you see a couple of signs of possibility, it's good enough to just take it as a surprise. Then if you find anything really good or interesting, it's happy times, Happy, joy. You remember Ren and Stimpy? What a show, man. What a messed up show. Pretty funny, though. I tell you. That's when, in the 90s, with that whole gross out humor phase of society, everybody was about it for a minute. Every show was like all about farts and boogers and vomit. Is like, what is going on? Wishcoin crab. This is more rares than I thought there would be, actually. Revised Earthbind. This foil rare. This is like somebody just opening some packs from time to time. This is kind of like a typical distribution of rares and foils and commons and uncommon. It's not a huge collection. It's definitely somebody who played. You don't have sleeved decks unless you play. Marrow Bone Gnar. So some of these commons will have value. That's why I'm putting it all aside like this. This doesn't have value. Those 16 from 2016, 2017 free cards. Yeah, they gave them away at the store. To new players, and they gave away so many that they're not worth anything. Kingpin's Pet. All right. So I'm going to go through these after I sort them right now. And we'll look at the hits at a different time. I'll record that. So this is like 2 recordings today where I went over what I found, and then a different one for the hits. Okay. But this is very cool. And it's great to see all these uncommons and commons. Whoa. Along with all the rares. But I almost knocked down all the uncommons as I'm talking about them. Okay. Unmoored Ego. Terror. So, let me know in the comments if you'd have bought this. I think you would have. But let me know. I want to know. I'm curious as to how many people would have went through the whole thing, or who would have just taken the guy's deal for $20 and been like, "All right, let's gamble here." I'm pretty curious. Pretty curious. Because I thought, I thought it was a good enough deal to get. $20, man. But, yeah. Let me know how I did as well. I think I did okay. Mimic Bat. That's right, there's a few of them. Freaking Battle for Zendikar, man. People ripped so much of that set that it is hard for any card in that set to kind of rise in value more than a couple of pennies. I'm happy to see stuff from Lorwyn, from those sets as well. These are messed up. That's why I'm chucking them. Okay. Consume the Meek. Mind Funeral I'm going to put aside. Because I know that's a couple of bucks. Same thing with Hedron Crab. Alright. And there you go. There is... what did we do here? Okay. And now it is separated in between rares, uncommons, and commons. And I can look through and see what we got. Okay. Yes. Okay, so we have a stack of bulk rares. We have these oddball cards, older and whatnot. Nothing too crazy. Couple dollars, some promo, you know. And these are the cards that are worth a couple of dollars from that mystery box. Traumatized, Hedron Crab, Sacred Foundry, thank God for this, Mind Slicer, and Nemesis of Reason. There were a couple of cards like, let's see. I don't know where I put it. Anyway, there were a couple of cards that are buy listable, nothing too crazy, and you know, this is a fun box. I always like these mystery boxes. $20 is not too much of a gamble. Let me know what you think. I know it wasn't that great of a deal, but hey, not every buy can knock it out of the park. I'm just glad I made my money back. Anyway, all right. So here we are. We are back. Well, I am back from the flea market to show you guys what I actually got. This was kind of a crazy, an interesting day. So I got this lot for 60. I probably could have gotten it for 40, but whatever. It's a lot for 60. Legends of the Five Rings. We got these 2 packs. This was a game. Still has a following. Kind of funny to see sealed packs like this. Very nice condition though. Same thing here with Wyvern. We have the limited edition. And then the expansion set. Phoenix expansion set. So, I don't know what the deal is with Wyvern. I mean, but to see it sealed like this and 2 different sets when there weren't very many sets. Yeah, that was cool. Let's put that aside. Then I saw Shadowrun, and I am like, oh, I love Shadowrun. We're going to open one of these. Shadowrun is such an excellent game. So, I grabbed those packs. Harry Potter packs? I mean, I don't know. I know you can get Errors of Magic cards where they have the Harry Potter backs, so I don't know where they come from. You never know. I don't know. I figured this was just throw it in there, right? Same thing with this Galactic Empire. We'll open one of those too. I don't know what it is. The science fiction trading card game? Sure. And then this Flights of Fantasy. I think this is Ed Beard Jr. Yeah, illustrated... Sorry, Flights of Fantasy, illustrated by Ed Beard Jr. Let's just confirm that that's all we have in here. This is like, I guess, a beat-up box. So, yeah, all of this, including these magic cards here that I'll show you in a minute for $60. I don't know. Tell me, would you have gotten this? Like I did, like all this random stuff. This looks like more than a booster box of these, so that's why it was sealed like that. Let's put one of these in here too. Okay, so now we've seen these, we can put them aside somewhere. Let's put it over here. that was taking up a lot of room. We're going to open these, which is interesting. We'll see what's inside. And then let's check out our Magic cards. So there's a binder. Now this binder, I would have bought the whole thing, except there's like a third of the cards were severely damaged. So I picked out some singles, and dude was charging like $1 a single, so why not? This I saw was like it's a misprint here. If you look at that in the title, Karplusan Yeti. If you look at the yellow like stain right here, yeah, that's a misprint, which is interesting. Fire Covenant, 2 of them. These are like, 4 of them. These are like $4 or $5 cards. Urza's Bauble, another playset, ditto. This conversion, unlimited? No, this is revised, so I thought it was unlimited. Thought Lash ×2. Cool, nothing crazy. And then freaking Sealed Judgment pack. I mean, I'll take that. That's cool. I like that as well. So yeah, all of this for $60. Let me know what you think. I thought it was a pretty good deal. Especially you got a misprint and all this other stuff to open. And then I got this. This is a mystery box, as in I know I looked through like, just a few cards on top and a bunch of lands, some rares. So this is a mystery box I got for $20. We'll see what's in that in a second. But this was $60. Let's check out these packs now. Okay, Ed Beard Jr. There are like autograph cards, prize cards, so on and so forth. There's all types of subset things. There you go. Upside down and right side up. I wonder if I'll get a subset. These fantasy art cards were very popular in the 90s. I mean, it's cool stuff. It's basically where Magic cards kind of not originated from, but like evolved alongside of with the same artists. Galactic Empires. Let me see. Wow, there's not much information on here. 1994 Galactic Empires. Let's see. I mean, this is like playing card paper. You see how it's like cross-hatched? Yeah. Interesting. Argonian frigate point symbols. Allocate points, engagement, play cards, phase A, weapons fire stage, play cards, phase B, discard, draw cards. So this is pretty interesting. Huh. I actually wish I had more. These are all card games, by the way. In case I didn't say that, except for the Ed Beard Jr. cards. Shadowrun. This is cool. This is like Magic combined with... This is Cyberpunk. This is Cyberpunk. Cannonball Mercery. These are actually nice quality. Ares Predator, that's the gun. Ambushed en route. Ajax, he's a rigger. Chipjack, oof. -1 essence to user. Glitz. Electrified Fence. Browse. So I don't know what is good and not. I mean, I'm guessing it would be stuff in the back. Anyway, cool. I'd like to learn more, but like, how are you gonna learn more when there's only a few packs and the game is dead? So I'm gonna put this stuff away and then we'll move on to the next one. Pause. Remember to like and sub. There will be way more of these flea market videos coming. There will be a lot of cool stuff from Japan, including the Final Fantasy release day. I'll be streaming from the flea market all summer from Japan and more. And a lot of stuff is happening, guys. Check out my Patreon. Take care. Have a lovely day. I'll catch you soon. Peace.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?
Maybe we could build a fire, sing a couple of songs, huh? Why don't we try that?
There you go. Hiding from me.